words about Shiva. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanansalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandra Rahadikaye Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah. Vrindana Vipate Jaya Soma Soma Mole Sanatan Sanatan Narija Gopeshwar Bhaj Bilasi Yuganmi Padmi Prachino Padmi Namo Namastute. So who is Shiva? Not an easy personality to understand. Last year on Shiva Ratri, I spoke about 3 levels of Shiva. Anyone remember what they were? Tattva Gata Vichar, Aishwarya Gata Vichar, and Madhurya Gata Vichar. So, first, understanding Shiva's position. Once in Bansi Bhat, in Rajmandal, Krishna was there, and from the right side of Krishna manifest Gopeshwar Mahadev, or Sadashiv. That is the original form of Shiva. And that form of Shiva is Vishnu Tattva, one form of Bhagavan. So there are 10 offenses, 10 obstacles in chanting the pure names of the divine. And one of those is to see Shiva as different from Bhagavan. It's an offense to see that. But to see that he is the same is also an offense. So how to reconcile that? You can't see he's different, but you can't see he's the same. What's the option? Bit tricky. So that original form of Shiva, Sadashiv, that is one form of Bhagavan, and that is Vishnu Tattva. And those followers of Shiva who worship Sadashiv, they are actually Vaishnavas. And that Sadashiv, he has his planet in Vaikuntha. One form of Shiva is there with his eternal associates. Now, when Mahavishnu desires for the srishti, for the creation of the material universe each cycle, then at that time the pradhan, the material energy, is in a state of equilibrium. The mahat is completely in a state of equilibrium. It is unmanifest. And then Mahavishnu, he, by his Isha Shakti, by his will, by his desire, he desires for the creation to happen again. But one definition of the Vishnu Tattva is the Vishnu Tattva never comes in contact with the material energy, direct contact. So when Mahavishnu glances towards Prakriti, then in the energy of his glance, all the jiva souls, all the individual souls like you and I, we are carried in the glance of Mahavishnu and impregnated into the material energy. But Vishnu cannot touch the material energy directly because he's Vishuddha Sattva, and the material energy is at a lower category. So the higher transcendental realm cannot come in direct contact with the material energy. So when Mahavishnu glances towards the material energy, the aura of his glance, that is Shambho, form of Shiva known as Shambho. And that form of Shambho carries the individual souls into the material energy. And then from there, everyone's engaging in their karmas from the previous creation, and the cycle goes on. So that Shambho Tattva, that if you see that form of Shiva the same as Bhagavan, then that is an offense. But if you see the form of Sadashiv different to Bhagavan, that is an offense. Is it clear? Clear as mud? Sadashiv is Vishnu Tattva. But below Sadashiv, then he's not a Jiva, but he's also not Bhagavan. He's not Vishnu on the same level as Vishnu. So to see Shambho on the same level as Vishnu, this is not correct. Not correct. So if you are seeing like that, your spiritual progress will be checked. You can only go so far. So Shambho, he is worshipped in this world as the Shiva Linga, because he is carrying the souls into the material energy. And what is this? This is the yoni, prakriti, the material energy. So that is the second level of Shiva, Shambho Tattva. And then the next level down, anyone know that one? What form of Shiva is involved with the annihilation, the pralay, the devastation? Anyone know? There's 11 Rudras. Rudra is the form of Shiva that does his cosmic dance and destroys the entire universe. So if you do your family duties, your Varnashram Dharma, perfectly for 100 births, 100 births, perfect, wife never gets angry, husband never gets angry, everyone's happy at home, perfectly, 100 births in a row, you can become Lord Brahma. And then if you do Brahma's duty perfectly for 100 births, you don't steal the cowherd boys or anything like this, perfectly for 100 births, then you can become an associate of Rudra who has a similar form to Rudra and helps assist Rudra in the destruction of the universe. And that's the highest any jiva can get within the creation. The rest are eternal associates and you cannot attain their position. So that's 3 levels of Shiva. Now, once there was one great devotee, his name was Ambarish Maharaj. That history's in the Bhagavatam. And it was Ekadasi. Today we're honoring Ekadasi Prasadam because we're honoring Sadashiv, form of Bhagavan and Vishnu Tattva. You always honor as Ekadasi. So it was Ekadasi, and one Anksa, one partial manifestation of Shiva, was also on the scene. His name was Durvasa. So Ambarish Maharaj, he was observing Ekadasi, but then Ambarish Maharaj came with his thousands of disciples to the palace of Ambarish, and the Param time was coming, time to break the fast. But Durvasa Muni, he said, I will go to the river and I will chant my mantras, and then I'll come back and I will honor Prasadam. Don't eat before me. So Durvasa Muni, he went to the river, and time was ticking on, and it was time to break his fast for Ambarish Maharaj. And if you don't break the fast at a particular time, you don't get the benefit from it. So then Ambarish Maharaj was in a quandary. Should I follow Varnashram Dharma because it's incorrect to eat before your guest? Or should I honor Bhakti and observe my Ekadasi and break my Ekadasi? So then he asked all the pundits in his court, what should I do? Come up with a solution for me. And they were scratching their heads and they couldn't come up with one. But because Ambarish is a Mahabhagavat, then he found the exact resolution. Because it's written in Sastra, if you have done Nirjal fast and you take water or Chamrita, it's breaking the fast, but it's also not considered eating. So he was still honoring Varnashram Dharma, the etiquette of hosting guests and being nice in this world, but he was also honoring Bhakti Devi. So he took some Chamrita, and then in his mystic powers, Durvasa Muni, who's one form of Shiva, down in the river, he could understand, he's eaten before me, he's broken his fast, and he was not happy. So then he went back to the palace, and he said, hey, I thought you Vaishnavas were very kind, but you're very cruel. You have eaten before me. Because he was He's a powerful yogi. He has all mystic siddhis. He can fly through the sky. So he was not impressed. Once I met one yogi, one Baba in India, quite famous yogi all through India, and for sometimes he would bury himself in the dirt and just his ankles sticking out, and he'd be like that for a couple of months. And I was hanging out with him every day, quite a volatile character. Their character can be quite interesting. So Durvasa Muni, he was like that. And then he became more angry and he pulled out one jata, one dreadlock, and from there one fiery demon came to kill Ambarish Maharaj. And so if one fiery demon appeared right now and said, "Hey, I'm going to kill you! Blood! I'm coming for you!" What would you do?
Run.
You'd run, right? But Ambarish Maharaj, "Oh Krishna, if you want me to live, if you want me to die, TK, no problem." So he was just like this. Try to understand the consciousness of Ambarish Maharaj. Very, very high level of consciousness. So then, because Krishna's Bhaktavatsala, so affectionate to his devotees, Sudarsana Chakra came and killed that demon, and then come to kill Ambarish Maharaj. And what did now Ambarish Maharaj is, Durvasa is now facing death. What did he do? Ah! And he ran away. So he's the king of the yogis. So all the yogis in the Himalayas, they are sitting there for thousands of years playing with energy, and they want to be like their poster boy on their cave wall, Durvasa Muni. But when he was faced with death, he was running. So then, because he had all mystic cities, he was flying through the sky, here and there, going all over the universe, and Sudarsana Chakra was coming to kill him. But he was running, and then finally he went to Vishnu. And Vishnu said, "Oh, please save me from the Sudan Chakra." And Durvasa said that. And Vishnu said, I'm bound by the love of my devotee. And you have made offense to him, so you should ask for his forgiveness. But you should understand, if the Sudarsana Chakra is coming to kill you, what is your chance of survival? Zero. He only lived because back on earth, Ambarish Maharaj was praying for him. Oh, let him live. He doesn't know what he's doing. So, if someone wanted to kill you, they manifested demons, and all you did was take some water before them. Would you be so forgiving? Probably not. But this is the consciousness of an Uttam Bhagavad Vaishnava. So then, Durvasa Muni, he came back to earth and he fell at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj and he begged for forgiveness. And he said, "Oh, now I can understand the position of the devotees of Bhagavan. So high." But there's many rahasyas, many secrets in this pastime. We won't go into all of them today, but one of them is said in Bhagavatam, Vaishnavam Yata Shambho. Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. So Vaishnavas don't kill other Vaishnavas. So how is it that Shiva in the form of Durvasa wants to kill Ambarish? This is all Leela. Because up to this point, in the Leela of Durvasa Muni, he was playing the part of a yogi. But actually he's a devotee. So Durvasa Muni, he also gave blessings to Radharani, gave Ashirvad. By your cooking, every day, whoever eats your cooking will become invincible. Who's eating the cooking of Radharani every day? Krishna. Krishna is invincible thanks to the blessings of Durvasa Muni. So, understanding the human-like leelas of the divinity is very difficult. Also, we see in Ram Leela that at the bottom of South India, when Lord Ram was there, he wanted to cross over. So he was worshipping Shiva Ling, Rameshwara. And the common people saw, "Oh look, Lord Ram's worshipping Shiva Ling. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is Shivji." And so Ram Ishwara is Shiva. So the common people, they were thinking like this because they cannot understand the Madhurya Leela, the human-like pastimes of the Lord. Just like Sati, Shiva's wife. Earlier in the Leela, Shiva had Ravana had kidnapped Sita. And so Lord Ram was going all around the forest. Hasite, 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 where's my wife? Where's my wife? God's lost his wife. He knows everything. He knows your bank balance. He knows when you're going to die. But he's lost his wife and he's in the forest. So then Shiva was close by and he gave pranams. Oh, Supreme Lord. And Parvati was there. And she was thinking, is he really the Supreme Lord? Supreme Lord's omniscient. Now, he can't even find his wife. How can this guy be the Supreme Lord? But Shiva said, this is Bhagavan. And Parvati had some sankshay, some doubt. So then Shiva said, oh, if you want, you can test. But Parvati said, no, I believe you. Because Shiva is Sati's guru. So you should not doubt the words of Gurudev. But Shiva went away, and then Sati, because she still had some doubt, by her mystic potency, she disguised herself as the form of Sita, Lord Ram's wife. And she went up to Lord Ram, and Lord Ram was looking, Hasite, Hasite, where's my wife? Where's my wife? But Sati had the form of Sita, had the form of Lord Ram's wife. And then from this angle, from that angle, she was approaching, but Lord Ram was just looking straight through her. And then finally, Sati came right before Lord Ram in the form of Sita, and she was thinking, when he sees me disguised as his wife, he'll think, I found my wife and be so happy. But then Lord Ram looked directly at Sita and said, Sati, what are you doing here? Where's Shiva? Where's your husband? And then Sati understood, I've made a mistake. I've doubted the words of Shivji. So, also Shivji saying, Lord Ram, Krishna is Bhagavan. So then, long story, Sati came back to Mount Kailash, and ultimately Shiva removed the asana from the left side and put it in front because she'd taken on the form of Sita, who's the mother. Mother sits in front, wife sits on the left. So we know the pastime from there. Then she gives up her body and she becomes born as Parvati, daughter of the Himalaya. So Durvasa, Shivji, he is in Sakyaras. Shiva has friendship with Lord Krishna. So he is coming in the Leela to assist him. But also another interesting point, who did Ravana worship? Shivji. One day Narad Muni was going around different people in the universe and he came to Lord Shiva and he said, you are the greatest devotee of the Lord. And Shiva said, no, I'm hanging out with ghosts and goblins, and I'm hanging out in the cremation ground and my body's covered with ash. I'm not the greatest devotee. And then I'm giving blessings to all these demons, Barnasur, Ravana, so many demons were against the devotees of Krishna. I am not a great devotee. So Ravana was doing tapas to Shiva and Shiva gave him blessings. But there's like a transaction. You do tapas, the gods will come and they'll give you a boon. But does that mean the gods are pleased with you? Another rahasya from Ramayana. Who burnt down Lanka? Who's Hanuman? Shiva. So Shiva gave a boon to Ravana, but who burnt down Ravana's palace? Shiva. Because I'll give you a boon because you've done tapasya, but this doesn't please me because you are against Bhagavan. And who lives in the heart of Hanuman? Sitaram. Yeah? Sitaram, Bhagavan. So Shiva's always in dhyan, always in samadhi. On who? Bhagavan. Shiva's Istadeva Sankashan, one form of the Supreme Lord. So there's many mysteries in these things. So on this day we should pray for Bhagavan. I want to Shiva, Sadashiv. I want to share one other pastime, but we'll have a little kirtan to Shiva now. And pray that Shiva's not easy to understand. Of all the gods, Krishna, Narayan, Ram, Durga, you can only understand Shiva Tattva if Shiva reveals himself to you. So you should pray on this day, oh Shiva, please reveal yourself to me. Because Sadashiv is the Adhisthatruti Devata of the Upadan Karan. Sadashiv, that Vishnu Tattva Shiva, he came to this world in the form of Advaita Acharya. And he's called Acharya because he's giving us the example of how to live, the life example. You can see Shiva's covered in ash. This world is like a sandcastle. It's like the cremation ground. This world is made of ash. And your car, your wife, your husband, everything soon will be reduced to dust. This is simply the forms of Panch Mahabhuts, the five material elements. But the souls, they are moving. So, come with me now to Navadweep Dham in Bengal in India. And on the eastern side of Rudradweep, one island there, Rudradweep, there's a place called Balpur. And the ancient name of Balpur is Bilva Paksha, because Shiva's worshipped with Bilva, bell leaf. So a long time ago, there was a group of ascetic brahmanas in Rudradweep doing tapas, and they were worshipping the Shiva with the bow leaf. And only for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks Shiva appeared. Times were a bit easier then. So Shiva appeared to these ascetic brahmanas, and he said, oh, these brahmanas were very intelligent, because you can go to the different forms of God and you say, oh, give me wife, give me money, give me Shakti, give me power, give me a long life, let my son pass his grades, all these sorts of things, you know. But these brahmanas were intelligent, because they said to Shiva, oh Shivji, Mahadev, please give us the benediction of whatever you think is the most auspicious, beneficial thing. So instead of going through Shiva like businessmen, oh, what can you do for me? They're asking Shivji, what do you think is the best thing? This is intelligence. Try to learn from these brahmanas. So then Shivji said, the most auspicious thing is halava. No. He didn't say that. Money. No, he didn't say that. A fast car. No. The most auspicious, beneficial thing is service to Bhagavan, Krishna. Devotion to Krishna. Shiva's own words. So, these brahmanas, they were very pleased to hear these words of Mahadev. And Mahadev said, oh, in the future, this Navadweep Dham will become very famous. And I give you the benediction, you'll be reborn here. And the Supreme Lord will appear in this Navadweep Dham. And he will open one toll, one school. And you'll be students in his school. But there was one Brahmana in particular that Shiva said, psst, I want to talk with you privately. So he took him to the side, and he was speaking with this Brahmana privately. And he said to this Brahmana, oh, if you walk through the village, there's a grove of bel trees. And if you go into this grove, there's a platform. And on this platform, in this grove, the 4 Kumaras are there. These are 4 celestial sages, Manasputra, born from the mind of Lord Brahma. They're the oldest rishis. And they eternally have the form of 5-year-olds. Because when you're young, mind's more carefree. But when you get older, you got to pay tax, and then wife, husband, daughter, you got to pay the rent and petrol price, and so life gets complicated, yeah? So they're just keeping it simple. They are so wise, but they have the form eternally of 5-year-old boys, these 4 brothers. So you should go there and you should get instruction from them. So this Brahmana, he went there, and his name was Nimbaditya. Nimbaditya, the founder of the which sampradaya? Anyone know? Nimbaka sampradaya. So when he arrived there, the four Kumaras, they were in samadhi and meditation, but this Nimbaditya, he started to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then the four Kumaras came out of trance, and when they saw a Vaishnava there, they were so happy. And each one of them went up to Nimbaditya and they embraced him. And they gave some instruction to Nimbaditya. All this is coming from the blessings of Mahadev. So the four Kumaras said to him, "Oh, Kali Yuga is coming, and Kali Yuga is here, but there'll be 4 great personalities will appear in this world, and through these great personalities, the pure current of transcendence will come. So one will be Vishnu Swami, who will be accepted by Lord Shiva and be the founder of the Rudra Sampradaya. One will be accepted by Lakshmi Devi, and he will be the founder, that will be Rabanuja Acharya, founder of Sri Sampradaya. One will be accepted by Lord Brahma. Who's that? Madhavacharya. And the 4th person to be accepted will be you, Nimbaditya, and you'll be the founder, propagated by us, the 4 Kumaras, Nimbaka Sampradaya. And so you should go around and you should teach Dvaita Advaitavad. Actually, he received this instruction a little bit later. So then the 4 Kumaras, they said, "Oh, you should go and take bath in the Ganga, and then we'll give you initiation." So off he went to the Ganga, took bath, came back, received initiation, and Sanat Kumar gave him instruction how to do bhajan, how to do Raganuga Bhakti to Radha and Krishna. So he was doing bhajan in this Rudradweep. And then after some time, he had darshan of Radha and Krishna. And so beautiful Krishna, Shama Sundar, like a rain cloud. And then beautiful gold complexion, Radharani. But then something amazing happened. Radha and Krishna, they merged into one form. And Nimbaditya was in ecstasy. His hairs were on end. And he was thinking, "I've never seen this. I've never even heard of one form of Radha and Krishna. What is this?" So then, that one form appeared in front of Nimbaditya externally and began to instruct him. And he said, "Oh, you should teach this Dvaita Advaitavad, that the reality is one, but it has variety." Because formerly the four Sanat Kumar had said, he had shared their own life history, that the 4 Kumaras, they were impersonalists. They were worshipping Brahman, the unending light of the divine. The divine is just emptiness. It's just all-pervading light. It's just energy. So the 4 Kumaras were like this, and maybe you know the history. They went to the gates of the spiritual world, and they weren't allowed in. And some quarrel ensued, and then Jai and Vijay came to the material world, or one aspect of them took 3 births, Ravana, Shashupal, etc., Kumbhakarna. We won't go into that, but when they were having the argument at the gate of the spiritual world, the Supreme Lord of Vaikuntha appeared there, the Supreme Lord Bhagavan. And these 4 impersonalists, their minds were always peaceful. Their senses were completely under control. But when the Supreme Lord came there, they were always meditating on Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahma. But when the Supreme Lord came there, the fragrance from the lotus feet of the Lord mixed with the fragrance of the tulsi manjaris from the garland of the Supreme Lord and entered the nostrils of the four Kumaras when they were giving pranams. And although their minds were always peaceful, always controlled, when that fragrance of the Supreme Lord entered their nostrils, their minds became perturbed and very disturbed. And they were thinking, what is this? Because Krishna will make you mad. So then they gave up this empty, dry worship of the formless light, and they became worshippers of the supremely beautiful form of the personality of reality. God has a form. Sometimes we're thinking God has no form because we are trying to subordinate the supreme reality through our limited material intelligence, and we think, oh, every form that I know is limited, so therefore God is unlimited, so he must be energy. But God is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is not limited by our material intelligence, so he has a form that is condensed knowledge, eternity and bliss. So when the four Kumaras saw that in front of their own eyes, oh, they became devotees of that Supreme Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was instructing Nimbaditya, in the future I will come, and you will also take birth during that time. And I will take the essence of the four Sampradayas, and I will take two things from each of them, and I will synthesize them and give the complete theology, the complete essence of all of the Vedas. So one thing he took was we should have pure devotion to the Supreme Lord, not eclipsed by karma or gyan, any reward-seeking activity. It's okay in the beginning, but ultimately the heart should be purified enough. Don't try to be a businessman with the Supreme Lord. Don't try to ask for power, because if you're asking for power, you're like Ravana. And what happened to Ravana? Shivji burned him down. He was killed by Lord Ram. So this doesn't please the Lord. Durvasa Muni, this form of Shiva, sometimes if you go to a beach in, say, America, very busy beach, Miami or something, there's a plane overhead on the beach and they have a sign behind. You ever seen that? Maybe on TV, and the plane's towing a sign, right? And it's saying, buy Coca-Cola or something like this, doing some advertising. So as Durvasa Muni was flying through the sky and all the yogis were sitting there in the Himalayas, what was he doing? He was doing advertising for pure bhakti. There is nothing higher than pure bhakti to Krishna. And all this yoga, all this karma, all this gyan, it can only take you so far. But Ambarish Maharaj was more powerful than Durvasa Muni. And it was only by the prayers of Ambarish that Durvasa was saved. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's instructing Nimbaditya many wonderful things. I won't go into it too much more today, but Shiva has played such a powerful role in serving the Vaishnavas in the Leela of Lord Ram and the Leela of Krishna. Durvasa Muni, last year I told about how Durvasa was coming when Krishna was a baby and taking Krishna's foot dust. Krishna has the Ganga on his, Shiva has the Ganga on his head. What's the Ganga? The Ganga is the Charantamrita of Vamandev, Vishnu. So Shiva is always taking the foot dust of Vishnu upon his head. He's always meditating on the Supreme Lord. So we should follow Shiva's example and follow his advice. What's the best thing? Devotion to Krishna. And Shiva's also praying, Asheshahav Bhavadira Hirahar Bhutate Bhuta Satakumbha Kumbhi Kumbhi Sustane Pramastamanda Hasichurna Purnasoka Sagare Karakarashya Hamam Kripaka Taksha Brajana. Oh Srimati Radhika, when will I be a recipient of your Kripa Kataksh, your merciful sidelong glance? Because there's not just Krishna, but who's the Shakti of Krishna? Radharani. So Shivji, the king of the yogis, who killed Kamadev, who killed lust, burnt Kamadev with his third eye, he's praying for darshan. Oh, when Srimati Radhika, when will you give me some mercy? So how wonderful is Radharani? How wonderful is Krishna? And Shiva's even saying the highest, best thing you can possibly do is have devotion to Radha and Krishna. So why not follow Shiva's advice? Yes. So, any questions, any doubts? Any thoughts, reflections? So now we can do 108 rounds of Sri Chaitanya Swaha. That is that combined form of Radha and Krishna, and pray with the mood of following Shiva's advice. Devotion to Krishna is the highest thing, and access to Radha and Krishna is through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So following the instructions of Shiva on his Shiva Ratri, pray for the mercy of Shiva so we can obtain pure devotion to Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Sri Gopeshwar Mahadeva ki Jai. Shiva is also the gatekeeper of Vrindavan. You can't leave the material energy without the benediction of Shiva, and you can't enter the most intimate realm of the spiritual world without the benediction of Shiva. And even in Navadvip Dham, Vriddha Shiva, he's the gatekeeper of Navadvip Dham. So Shiva is a very powerful and important personality. Lalit Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, by Rupa Goswami, all these plays came after getting benediction of Lord Shiva. So Vaishnavam Yata Shambho, Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. Kush, you want to count again? So 108 rounds, Sri Chaitanya Swaha, that golden form of Radha and Krishna combined. You can come do the samagri.